Hello everybody, welcome back to Italy, round 11 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. It's round 11, as we said, the MXGP of Europe. And we're here at Mantova. Final race of the day, MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. You can see the riders out on their sighting lap right now as they get ready to go and do battle once again. That's the circuit. 1,660 meters long. From the finish line in the dark grey, through sector 1 into turn 5, through to the left-hander, the long sweeping left into the right, which is sort of like between 10 and 11, if you like. That's sector 2. And then uphill into turn 15, that's sector 3. And then down towards the finish line, sector 4. Jeremy Seewer was your winner here on Sunday, Roman Febvre on Wednesday. Will there be a new winner here today? Antonio Cairoli has the most wins so far around this racetrack with 4. Roman Febvre, a double round winner here over the years when he was victorious on Sunday. That followed on from his win in 2015. Gajser was also a winner in 2016. And the reason why we mention him is because he was victorious in race 1. We'll see the highlights in a moment from MXGP Race 1. Here's what happened. Jorge Prado grabbed his 10th Fox Holeshot of the season. Close behind him, Tim Gajser, Roman Febvre, Glenn Coldenhoff, Antonio Cairoli, DeSalle, Dylan Walsh was in there. Towards the end of the first lap, Prado, who was leading, stalled. Febvre ran into the back of him. Walsh then led for 4 laps. Both the Hondas went by. And they were running in second and third as Walsh did a good job of leading from the front for JM Honda Racing. 10 riders were separated by 7 seconds for the first 2 or 3 laps. That's how close it was. Roman Febvre put the squeeze on his teammate here to move into 7th place early on. And then Gajser eventually made this move around the outside, top of your screen, to find his way past the Kiwi, Dylan Walsh. He hoped that Prado would be there for a lap or so longer, but on the same lap, the number 61 on Red Bull KTM also found his way through into second. And then pretty much after that, Dylan Walsh, who was a little bit excited, to say the least, started dropping back, wasn't breathing, wasn't focusing on the job. Evans went around the outside, wasn't long before Seewer. Febvre also went by. One of the talking points, Febvre into the back of Seewer as he tried to make a move. He fell from 4th or 5th down to 10th. Antonio Cairoli ran Seewer wide as he tried to charge through. That was for 5th place. Seewer then in 6th, and that's where he stayed. A hard charging ride, though, for Glenn Coldenhoff. He was outside of the top 10 through the first splits. That pass with 2 laps to go on Coldenhoff, on Prado, put him 2nd. Final lap, he closed in on Tim Gajser, but it was Tim Gajser who hung on for his 8th race win of the season. Coldenhoff 2nd, Prado was 3rd. And that race win, actually, from Tim Gajser moves him on to 53, 1 behind Gaston Raya, the 3-time 125 world champion, also 1 behind Jorge Prado as well. Anyway, Lisa Leyland was on the grid a while ago. She caught up with Dylan Walsh, who led race 1.
I tell you what, that first MXGP race was so exciting to watch, mainly because we saw a different leader of the race for the first few laps, that being Dylan Walsh. Dylan, it was really nice seeing you leading that race. Good start. How do you feel under your helmet with the pressure of the top guys behind you?
Yeah, it was really good, actually. I felt good on the bike, but the whole experience was overwhelming. Like, I felt good, but yeah, I just let it get the toll of me, and I just made a few rookie mistakes, and yeah, ended up not so good.
I think that's the thing about this class. It's not just about being fast, is it? It's about being able to handle that pressure, that intensity at the top, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, everyone in this class has got a lot of experience, and I'm quite nervous. It's my 2nd year actually racing like the World Championship, so every time I'm out there, I'm just trying to learn and just be better and better, step by step, just be good.
I mean, I know it wasn't ideal. I know you dropped back a few places. The pressure did get to you. But if anything, it's a learning experience, and yeah, and you've gained experience from it, really, haven't you? You know what it feels like to be up at the sharp end.
Yeah, definitely. It was such a good learning experience and something I've always dreamt on. So yeah, it's been good, and it's going to make me better for this motor for sure.
Best of luck for this race. Thanks, Dylan. Good luck there to all the guys. It's time for MXGP race 2.
And the circuit guy is still going strong. Let's take a look at the championship standings after the first race. Tim Gajser now on 377. Antonio Cairoli 14 points behind. Siwa 14 adrift of him. Prado is fourth, just 12 behind Siwa. Glenn Coldenhoff another 12 behind. So 52 points separate the first 5 riders. And with, what, 2 triple headers and a round in Spain, 7 rounds to go. There are still a lot of points up for grabs. Here's how the riders line up. MXGP Race 2, Glenn Coldenhoff on pole for the first time this year. Tim Gajser goes to the line second for the first time this year. Jorge Prado, Jeremy Siwa, Jorge Prado, Ivo Monticelli, his best qualifying of the season, ahead of De Sal, Fevre, Bogus, Van Landeren and Van Horebeke. And then we got Evans, Cairoli, Jacobi, Walsh, 15th for the JM Honda rider. Didn't stop him getting a good start though, did it? Bernardini 16th for Guidinelli Racing. A1M's Husqvarna rider Tano Leok goes to the line 17th, ahead of the Hitachi KTM fueled by Milwaukee Adam Sterry. BRT Norpesca Holland rider Petr Petrov. Nick Lapucci for Bedini MX2 and Valentin Guillot Honda SR Motor Blues Honda. Riders taking their positions behind the gate then. And there is Tim Gajser. 53 race wins now, as we said before, just 1 behind the 3-time 125 world champion Gaston Raya, and 1 behind Jorge Prado. Both riders have 54 race wins. There's Glenn Coldenhoff. The standing construct Gas rider. 39 top 3 finishes now in races for the Hoff. 15 of those have come by virtue of second place. And Jorge Prado has only ever finished third 10 times, unbelievably. He does have 86 top 3 race finishes, though. There's Jeremy Siwa. 6th in race 1. He'll be looking to make amends here in race 2. So too will Antonio Cairoli, only good enough for 5th in race 1, but it was a high pace the riders were running in that first race in MXGP. Track wasn't that bumpy either, so difficult to make time. Although, having said that, Glenn Coldenhoff certainly found time, found lines, plenty of passing opportunities, carved himself from outside of the top 10 to 2nd with 2 laps to go, and almost made a push for the win as well. Romain Fevre, he'll be kicking himself after a move that went down the inside of Jeremy Siwa went wrong, picked himself up in 10th. Jorge Prado, 1 place behind his teammate Jeremy Siwa, so the 2 Monster Energy Yamahas were 6th and 7th. Tim Gajser and his HRC teammate were 1st and 4th. There is De Sal. Started in around about 7th, but he made a mistake around about 4 or 5 laps into the race. Went down to 15th. Ended up finishing in 12th. Did the MX Panda. Hopefully the rain stays off. We weren't due it at the start of MX2 earlier, so the Fly Racing 15-second board goes up. Hopefully no rain on the way, but if we do, it's the final race. It's going to go on regardless. Who will it be that grabs that Fox Holeshot? The revs are up. Once again, the 2 Gas riders in the first 2 gates. Monticelli puts a squeeze on his teammate. Coldenhoff holds a nice tight line, gives himself plenty of room to work as well. Coming into turn 2, Gajser almost goes down, but it's Prado who leads the way. Gajser 2nd, Cairoli 3rd, Siwa over on the far side is 4th, Coldenhoff is 5th. The 2 Kawasaki's either side of those 2, with Fevre to the outside, and Gajser already making a move on Prado, looks back across at the young Spaniard, bossing the front of the race early, again looking back to see where the threat is coming from. Tim Gajser. The 2 KTMs, 2nd and 3rd. Once again, I think we're going to be in for a treat of a race. Gajser, Prado, Cairoli, Fevre, Siwa, Coldenhoff, Paulin, De Sal, Valanderen's in there, Walsh, Jacobi, Bogus, Evans in 16th place. Gajser trying to make a run for it early. Oh, and Koltnoff around the outside of Paulin. Koltnoff up to 5th. Closest to us, 2:59. Looking for different lines, pretty much like he did in race 1, which is why he was so effective, so efficient. Keeping an eye on that little battle. He's got DeSalle behind him. But it's Gajser making a run for it at the front. Koltnoff almost got caught there by the 25 of DeSalle. 2 Yamahas at the top of the hill, Paulin and Verlanderen. Verlanderen still there in, what, 9th place? Getting ready to hit the line for the first time, the unofficial time, of course. We won't get a lap time until next time. Look how dark and moody it is outside, though. But Gajser leads, Prado 2nd, Cairoli is 3rd, Febvre 4th, Seewer, Koltnoff, DeSalle, Paulin, Verlanderen and Walsh. Boga's next. Then we've got Jacobi, Lapucci, Evans, then Boutron. Leop in 16th place. Prado going after Gajser. Febvre going after Cairoli. Then we've got Seewer. Not necessarily on his own, because he's got Koltnoff keeping him company back there in 6th place. Oh, and Prado, has he thrown away a podium? I think he may have done. So Prado out of 2nd place. And taking a long time to get going as well. That one looked like it caught him unawares. He may have hurt himself in that as well. Just give himself a bit of a knock, because the ground is going to be pretty hard there. Oh, well, we just had a stone smash the camera there, or was that just a lump of mud? Anyway, Prado out of 2nd position. He was 2nd overall at that point in the classification, so that's going to promote Koltnoff and Cairoli. Maybe even give Seewer an opportunity to get up there as well. Prado in 21st place. How much of a dent is that going to put in his championship? He was just 6 points behind Seewer for 3rd overall in the campaign before he made that mistake. Championship nerves starting to show. Gajser, fastest rider on the track at the moment, 1:52.7, and Walsh is down as well through the waves. Monticelli going past. So Cairoli 3.2 seconds behind Gajser. Cairoli, your lead rider in shot, is 2nd in the race. The number 3 behind him from Montreni to Kawasaki, Romain Febvre, tucks to the inside, can't find a way by. Cairoli has a look across, not once but twice. Knows he needs to get the back wheel down early just to stay ahead of the Kawasaki. The Red Bull KTM just a little bit front high there. He would have probably wanted to get the front end down a little bit lower as he came into land, but gets the job done. Febvre 3rd, Seewer on his own in 4th, Koltnoff just behind him 5th, DeSalle, Paulin, Verlanderen, Bogas and Evans. Gajser looking at going 1-1. He said, all right, here's what happened to Prado. Left, hits the bank, comes around on him, hits another hole, sends him down to the deck. Wasn't in a hurry to get up either. Disappointment on the face there of his crew down in pit lane, because they also know how costly that could be, potentially. Cairoli on his own in 2nd. Febvre's crew looking on. There, 3rd for the number 3. Jeremy Seewer just starting to gain in momentum here a little bit. It looks like this lap might be better for the Swiss rider. Let's have a look at his lap time as he comes through this time around. 52.8. So about a half a second off of Febvre. Personal best for him, though. Gajser, 50. Cairoli, 38. Koldenoff, 38. Siwa, 33. That's your podium as it stands right now after 2 laps. Cairoli, the fastest rider on track, fastest lap of the race, at 52.014. 7/10 quicker than Gajser's lap previously, and about 3/10 quicker than Febvre's previous lap. Championship before race 2, Gajser was 14 points clear of Tony Cairoli. It'll be 17 if things stay the way they are. It was 5 at the start of the day. But more importantly, for Tim Gajser, the defending world champion, he may have won 8 races so far this year, but he's still yet to win a Grand Prix as the defending champion. Does have the red plate though, so not all bad. He's been on the podium 6 times, 5 of those second overall, and he was 3rd here on Wednesday. Said in a pre-grid interview and also in a team report that we did with him on the week, just a couple of days ago that went in our first race live, that he has one good race, he can have a win, but then there's something happens in the second race. Well, hopefully he can bring it home from his side. 2 good solid rides. He doesn't even have to win the race to win the overall, but he's in this for the championship. So too is Cairoli and Siwa, just there in 4th. Prado still in 21st place at the moment. Still outside of the points. Koldenoff. A couple seconds adrift of Jeremy Siwa. Wonder how much that first race took out of him, because it was a hard charge through. In fact, maybe not quite 2 seconds. See those gnarly braking bumps. Dirt drying out. There's going to be some loose stones in there as well. Oh, and Gajser throws away the race lead. Cairoli leads, and the Italian fans here absolutely love that. We have a new race leader on lap 4. Cairoli leads, Febvre 2nd, Siwa now 3rd. In fact, Febvre 3rd, Siwa 4th. So Cairoli leads, Gajser 2nd, Febvre 3rd, Siwa 4th, Koldenoff 5th. Watch this here. Is it a front tucking in? Comes into that turn 10, 11 section. Oh, it just tips over, and then something happened, just bobbled and threw the leg over, and that was Febvre also. That's twice now Febvre's got caught in moments like that today. The first race was in race 1 when he ran into the back of Prado. Use your head. The next 10 minutes, or is that 10 minutes gone? So Gajser regroups in 2nd. Febvre there in 3rd, Siwa 4th, Koldenoff 5th. 5.6 seconds between the first 5 riders. Then we've got a gap of about 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds back to Dessau. Paulin, Balander and Bogas Evans in 10th place. Prado still circulating in 21st. He's over the line now. 43 seconds down on the leader. Got to be a massive dent of confidence that in terms of the championship, chasing down the championship. Because Koldenoff moves ahead of him in the overall classification. He moves to 3.41, Prado on 3.37. See, we're on 3.67. And Tony Cairoli, who leads the race and has won just one race, but he has won a Grand Prix every year in the 17 years that he's turned pro. 2 Grand Prix victories, Riga, the second of the Latvian rounds, and then the final round in Faenza. Not going to be standing on the top step of the podium here, but he will be taking 3 points out of Tim Gajser, who was 14 before the start of this race. It'll be 11 if he can stay where he is. Just depends how Gajser regroups. 2.1 between Cairoli and Gajser. Then we've got Fevre and Siwa. And then just losing a little bit of ground, standing construct Gas with Glenn Koldenoff in 5th position. Siwa getting ready to launch an attack though on the Frenchman. Goes in the long way round, but you see how there's a horrible braking bump right on the entry point. That bank in the background there really upsets the balance of the bike. You can't get on the power then because you go in, the back end is off the ground, and then you get on the gas. Prado finally into the points, just behind Dylan Walsh. Worst possible time to crash for Jorge Prado. Was it second lap? Everybody still very close together. Back end going one way and the other on the Kawasaki of Romain Fevre. Going to be good enough for 5th overall as it is right now. The number 3 on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. Here is Jorge Prado. Wonder what kind of a knock, apart from to the confidence the Spaniard had. It was through this part of the racetrack. He just kissed that bank and it swung round to the right, the left, and then there was another high side, threw him to the ground. Got to dig deep. Not a position we used to seeing him in, actually. All through his MX2 days, it was pretty much Fox Holeshot after Fox Holeshot. I don't recall a time when he was this far back and had to dig that deep. Certainly not in the last 2 years. Cairoli 2.1 clear still over Gajser. Gajser just edging closer by 1/10 of a second. Fevre, we're going with Gajser. Koldenoff will be hoping that he can up his pace as well to go with the trio of riders ahead of him. Siwa again goes to that outside. Mitch Evans up to 9th for Team HRC. He's found his way past the Marchetti Racing KTM of Brian Bogus. Van Horebeke up to 17th, finding his way past his Honda SR Motor Blues teammate, Valentin Guillot. Prado about 6 seconds down on Walsh. In fact, Guillot is dropping down the order now. He's in 19th. This is Evans on Bogus. That was Evans for 9th place. Gajser and Fevre just starting to break free from the number 91 of Jeremy Siwa's Monster Energy Yamaha. Again, these guys pushing the envelope, pushing a real fast pace. Lap time in race 1 was a 1:52.226, 1:52.014 Cairoli. So race 2 faster than race 1. Cairoli looking at the moment, picking up a Tag Heuer fastest lap award. Koldenoff getting closer. So Cairoli now 1.8 seconds clear of Tim Gajser. Fevre Siwa Koldenoff right there as well. There's Cairoli just around the corner. So once again, we've got 5 riders separated by 6 seconds. Koldenoff looks like he's just coming into his own here. Paulin 4 seconds behind De Salle. He's in 7th place. Head of the Geven van Venrooy Yamaha of Calvin Verlander, Mitch Evans, Brian Bogus. Then Jacoby, Yamaha SM Action MC Miuri J1 Racing. Koltnoff definitely closing in. 54.4, he was 4/10 quicker than Seawer that time around. Standing construct gas rider, where is his teammate? Monticelli, he's in 12th. Quicker than Jacoby, ahead of him that time around. But about 6 seconds further back. 13.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Antonio Cairoli, 35, just over a week ago. Leading race 2 here, the MXGP of Europe. Gives you an indication of how precise you have to be through those waves. Go wide, straighten up, hit a rut, pick a line. Give you the drive over the first series of waves. 1.8 seconds between Cairoli and Gajser becomes 1.6. Gajser again chipping away. 11 points in the championship chase between these two. 3.99, Gajser 3.88. Cairoli. If ever there was a time that Cairoli could secure a record equaling 10th title, this year is it. But he's going to have to dig deep. The young whippersnappers around him are not going to make it easy. Prado now to 19th place, by the way. He's about 2 seconds down on Dylan Walsh after a fall on lap 2. The riders in MXGP, supremely fit athletes. Circuit ever-changing, different terrains, soft there, big braking bumps, everything to upset the balance of the bike. Riders have got to have the mind to deal with that, the fitness, the ability to read track changes very quickly. Van Hoorbeek down at the end of the waves. Or not at the end of the waves. So out of 16th place, so just before the waves possibly. It was over on that side of the racetrack anyway. .6, the gap originally. Keep an eye on that at the end of lap 9. See, we're still not able to close in on Fevre, but Koltnoff does look like he's edging closer to the number 91. First and second separated by 1.8 now. 7.2 seconds separate the top 5. So the gap from 1st to 5th. Glenn Koltnoff there, 2.59, just creeping out ever so slightly. Koltnoff on the podium, 3rd overall though. Here's Evans closing in on Verlander. The number 10 on the Geven van Venrooy Yamaha in 8th. Evans for Team HRC is in 9th position. Calvin Verlander in his rookie season in MXGP, so too the 43 of Mitch Evans. Evans grabbed a couple of podiums in MX2, as did Verlander, Grand Prix winner of course. Cairoli being urged on by the fans that are allowed in. Obviously a restricted number, it's not a free-for-all, otherwise it would be a lot louder. A lot more atmosphere, but he's going to be good enough for 2nd overall if he can stay where he is. The lead might go out from 5 to 11 in favour of Gajser in the championship. Oh, Evans, hello, down the inside of Calvin. Runs him a little bit wide, but is there a payback coming here? Not quite close enough. So Evans now up into 8th place. Cairoli over the line with 9 minutes plus 2 to go. 1.6 the gap between first and second. Both riders have to keep a cool head. Antonio Cairoli, a 9-time world champion, knows about winning races, Grand Prix, and of course, dealing with that kind of pressure. Gajser, a 3-time world champion, has had his fair share of pressure to deal with over the years as well. Three seconds further back, Romain Febvre on his own in 3rd. Siwa, and then Coldenhoff, about another second adrift. Not so much passing today, but the action close. No one really getting too far away. And Cairoli not getting away from Gajser. Gajser definitely closing. It wasn't 1.6 when they were in this corner here a moment ago. (29.8, 29.7). A 10th pulled back by Gajser at the first split. Nothing in it at the second split. Sector 3 coming up any moment now. Top of the next hill into the left-hander. Coming towards us. Antonio Cairoli over the sector now. 27.5, Gajser 27.7, so Cairoli pulls another 2/10 over on this side of the racetrack. Streaking away, turning back the clock. And turning back the years, Antonio Cairoli. 11 laps complete. Teammate 18th at the moment, Jorge Prado. Can still pick up vital championship points. 2 seconds now the gap between Cairoli and Gajser. But Febvre, Siwa and Coldenhoff still in an interesting battle for 3rd. I think Siwa may have just closed in on Febvre just as we cut away from that turn 4. Six and a half minutes plus 2 to go. Absolutely nothing in it, is there, between the first 2 and then the battle for 3rd. Can't afford any mistakes. And certainly, if you're Gajser, Cairoli, Siwa, Coldenhoff, Prado has made his mistake early on in this second race. It's pushed him back down to 5th in the championship. 1 point behind Coldenhoff as it stands right now. Coldenhoff 4th. Prado is still working his way through the field, currently in 18th position. But he can't afford to give 25 points, 22, 20 to the likes of Cairoli and Gajser. He was emerging as a real title threat before he made that mistake. A little bit out of shape there. Good drive from Gajser. All of a sudden, we're gained back on again. A 2-second gap down to absolutely nothing as they hit the line at the end of lap 12. 1 second. Cairoli gained 2/10 at sector 1, lost 4/10 at sector 2, lost another 2 or 3/10 at sector 3, and lost another almost half a second at sector 4 that time around. So Gajser just biding his time, he's taking his breath, regrouped, and he's getting ready to go again. 5 minutes plus 2. Cairoli can't afford to switch off. He knows he's got a fight on his hands. Here's Leoc and Boutron, the 17 and the 7. Through the wave section, these two fighting for 13th. Boutron there in that 13th place for JD Gunnex KTM. Leoc on the A1M Husqvarna, of course his own team. Back with our leader. Uphill. Oh, absolutely demolishes the berm on the exit of the corner. He's gained 3/10 at sector 1 and another 3/10 at sector 2. Realises the threat was there. Realised he probably made a couple of mistakes on the previous lap as well. Starting to get spread out now. Koldenhoff has just lost a toe from Siwa. Likewise, the Swiss on the French. Again, not clean, but not allowing Gajser to get a sniff here. It was 1.002 a lap ago. Probably about the same now, is it? 1.076, so nothing in it at all. Whether that particular problem has Tony Cairoli. A real tantalizing race, this one, for Gajser. He led, he threw away the lead, he made that mistake, he's picked himself up, he's regrouped, but so far not been able to get on terms with Cairoli. This was his fall from the lead. He had about 3 seconds over Tony Cairoli. Watch, lose the front, and then I think what happened, he caught his right leg and it flicked him over, and then he lost his balance. Gajser almost ran into the back, Febvre almost ran into the back of him as well. Either way, that was the advantage that Cairoli took. He's taking it with both hands and running with it at the moment. 2 minutes plus 2 to go. With lap times 1:54. It's going to be 3 laps to go the next time we hit the line. We know Gajser is strong. We know he's fit. We know that with 2 laps to go, he can just flick the switch, turn it up, and have one last push. Is that what he's waiting for? I wonder. Again, close towards the end of the waves. Still about a second in it between them, surely. 1.1. It was a 54.2 compared to a 54.3. And the thousandths, oh, the hundredths were exactly identical. 290, 390. And coming in to land, hot. Gajser, he tripled in. Cairoli doubled in. And all of a sudden, that 1.1 second advantage is down to nothing. Cairoli now is more than wary of what's going on behind him. Just in the space of about 50 meters, Gajser closed down that gap into turn 4. Cairoli crossed the line, 1.1 seconds clear of Gajser. But between turn 3 and turn 4 a moment ago, Cairoli chose to go double single. Gajser tripled his way in, went to the inside as well. That gap was reduced massively. So again, this is a good recovery from the 2:22. Watch this here. Cairoli goes to the right side, left as we look at it. He goes double single. Look at the difference there. Gajser triples in, lands it, turns inside. Almost able to make a pass there. He halved the gap at that moment. Right, into the waves. We're getting ready to hit the 2-lap board. Into the penultimate lap. 1.3 seconds separate Tony Cairoli from Tim Gajser. Gajser will probably gain ground again in that jump in the background if he triples. Not sure if Tony's going to triple this time or not. No, he goes to the inside. Oh, he triples from the inside this time around. Carries that momentum around the outside. think it was just as well, because Gajser, even though he went triple on the left and made the inside, again, he just seemed to gain a little bit of an advantage on Cairoli. These guys now 4 seconds clear of Romain Febvre. There he is, just popping into view below us. He's still there in 3rd place. Siwa in 4th on his own. Koldenhoff now about 5 seconds behind the Yamaha rider. Wasn't able to sustain that kind of pace that he put up in race 1. Siwa may still find a way past Romain Febvre, though. As it stands right now, Gajser will win the Grand Prix with a win and a second. Cairoli would be 2nd overall with a 5th and a win. Koldenhoff on the podium 3rd with a 2nd and a 5th. Will give him 38 points. This looks like the biggest advantage that Cairoli has had in a couple of laps. Can he get through the waves clean, though? Getting ready to enter the final lap. Red Bull KTM, Tony Cairoli keeps wheels aligned as he comes into land into the final corner. 16 laps complete, a 1:54.033, a 54.031. For Gajser, that gap still 1.345 seconds. He's less than 2 minutes away from taking a checkered flag. And Siwa has gone through on Febvre. From out of nowhere, we've a change for 3rd. That must have been into turn 1, up the inside. Watch this. And Febvre knew he was there. Tried to counter it, but then he got ran wide. So Siwa up to 3rd. That's going to give him another 2 points. Not good enough for a podium. It'll move him to 35, and it'll give him 2 vital championship points as well, because he is very much involved. It'll put him on 3.69. Cairoli on 3.88. Nothing in it between the top 2. If he is close enough on the entry to the waves, Tim Gajser may find his way past on the final lap. That'll be heartbreak for Cairoli. It'll also lose him 3 vital championship points. Gajser pushing. He knows there's a handful of corners left to run. We've got traffic on the horizon. He needs to stay out of the way, whoever it is, and he does. At the moment, this one looks like Cairoli's. Just keep it straight through here. TC gets good drive. A mistake for Gajser in the background, and that has cost him the race win. Tony Cairoli will cross the line. He will take the race win here, and he will not win the Grand Prix, but it gets him on the podium. The fans love that. 178 career race wins now for Tony Cairoli. His 170th podium. And 50 times now he's finished 2nd overall in his career. More importantly, he's got the points down to 11 points between him and Gajser after it went out to 14 before race 2. So another fascinating race. MXGP race 2 here, round 11, the MXGP of Europe at Mantova. Tony Cairoli wins it by 2.6 seconds in the end from Tim Gajser. Jeremy Siwa 3rd, Febvre 4th, Koldenhoff, de Salle, Paulin, Evans and Valandrin with Bogas in 10th. And here is our Grand Prix winner, Tim Gajser, with...
Tim Gajser, massive congratulations. I know you probably have mixed emotions because of that lead in that 2nd race, but you got your 1st overall of the season. I don't believe it.
Yeah, actually I'm quite happy. Just shame of the little mistake that I made now in the 2nd moto, because the pace was good. We were really pushing with Tony. I came really close on the end, but anyway, you know, it was nice racing, and I'm glad that finally I won the GP.
Well deserved, Tim. Thank you.
Tim Gajser wins for the first time this year. It's taken 11 attempts. But the Team HRC rider on the top step once again. His last Grand Prix victory was in Imola. In fact, Belgium in Lommel last year. Hasn't won since then. Long time overdue then for Tim Gajser. Here's the official rundown. Antonio Cairoli, Red Bull KTM, wins it from Team HRC's Tim Gajser. Seawer for Monster Energy Yamaha. Monster Energy Kawasaki's Roman Fevre. Standing construct, Gas of Coldenhoff. DeSalle, Paulin, Evans. Valandren for Gabin Van Benroy. Bogus Marchetti Racing KTM. Monticelli, Jacobi. Yamaha SM Action MC Miuri J1 Racing. Leoc on the A1M Husqvarna. Boutron for JD Gunnex. Dylan Walsh, JM Honda Racing. Petrov, Nordpeska Holland. Prado, 17th in the end. Lapucci, Sterian Gio. Gajser wins the Grand Prix for the first time this year, round 11. 47 points. Cairoli second, Coldenhoff third. Seawer just misses out in fourth. Evans rounds out with a fifth overall, just how he started the season at Matterley. Prado, he'll be disappointed with ninth overall today. And in the championship, Gajser, 11 points clear of Tony Cairoli. Jeremy Seawer third, Prado fourth, Coldenhoff fifth, Fevre sixth. But for Gajser, he's extended that lead by 6 points now over Tony Cairoli. It was 5 at the start of the day. KTM lead the way in the manufacturer's standings, 489 to 436 for Honda. Yamaha are there in third. Take a look at the Fox Holeshot, shall we? So we'll do that in a moment. I think it was the Red Bull KTM of Jorge Prado. But we're going to go straight to the podium then instead, bringing the Fox Holeshot in just a moment. For some reason it's gone very quiet out there. We were all enjoying that music then just a moment ago, but Team HRC's Honda there, Tim Gajser standing proud just below the podium. See the riders just making their way up the steps behind the podium area. But third overall, Glenn Coldenhoff, standing construct, Gas Factory Racing. A second and a fifth. He is on the podium for the third time this year. He was victorious in Latvia when we emerged from lockdown. He was second here 2 rounds ago on Sunday and third today. Antonio Cairoli with a race win in race number 2. His 5th place in race 1, getting him second overall for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. And Tim Gajser, Team HRC, absolutely ecstatic with his first Grand Prix win of the year, his first since Belgium last year at Lommel. Giacomo Garibaldi will be up there with him every step of the way. Team owner, of course, for Team HRC. Glenn Coldenhoff, another piece of silverware. He is still in the fight for the championship as well, don't forget. And Tony Cairoli, second overall. Does it with a race win here in front of his fans at Mantova. But Tim Gajser, Team HRC, for the first time this year, stands on the top step of the podium. His 7th podium of the year. 5 times second, a third on Wednesday, a win here today with a win and a second. And he extends his lead by 6 points over the rider to our left, his right, of course, Tony Cairoli. Giacomo Garibaldi will take the first team trophy win of the season for Team HRC. Tim Gajser now for the last 3 rounds. has held the red plate even though it is quite rad, I'm sure. But your top three: Tim Gajser, Antonio Cairoli, Glenn Koldenhoff. National anthem for Tim Gajser. And Slovenia.
del Giappone per la casa vincitrice Honda.
Top three here today: Tim Gajser, Antonio Cairoli, Glenn Koldenhoff. And for Tim Gajser, that's his 25th career victory, his 67th podium. Let's take a look at the Fox Holeshot now, shall we? While these guys celebrate, we will talk to them shortly, of course. But right at the start of the race, here's what happened with the Fox Holeshot. Jorge Prado. So Jorge Prado then with his 11th Fox Holeshot of the season. Monticelli on 3, Siwa and Gajser on 2, Febvre, Koldenhoff, Herlings and Jacobi all with 1 apiece. Right, here's some of the best moments, and when we get the other side of these, of course, we will talk to our top 3, starting with Tim Gajser, who is a 2-time winner around this circuit now. His first was back in 2016 when he went 1-1 in MXGP.
Tim Gajser, congratulations, a long overdue GP victory for you. In that second race you led, you lost the lead, you regrouped really well. I guess just ran out of time at the end, but you've extended the championship lead.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super happy to finally get a GP win. I mean, I had many heat race wins, but not overall yet until today. So I'm super happy, you know. The races were amazing, you know. The battles was nice, especially in the second moto with Tony. I make a little mistake where I wash up the front, and then I lost the lead, and then I tried to regroup as soon as possible. It was not easy, but then we have a nice battle with Tony towards the end of the race. So yeah, huge thank you to everyone around me, all my team. We all really work hard. So yeah, it's paying off.
Thanks, Tim. Congratulations. Second overall today, we have Antonio Cairoli. Tony, fantastic race win. You're right where you needed to be when Gajser threw away that lead. But you couldn't relax because he really did give you a good fight, didn't he, in that second race?
Yeah, of course, the level was very high today. I mean, not from only the winners, but everyone was very fast, especially that first moto. Yeah, I didn't have the rhythm in the beginning, so I was like dropping a little bit back. Then in the end, we were in the first 8 or 7 in 8 or 9 seconds. So that's crazy, you know. It's very high speed. But second moto, I know I had to give something extra because I was a little bit too careful in that first moto, and on this track it doesn't really help. So I try to attack as much as possible. Then team make a mistake, so I make it easier. I get the lead, and then it was close, but I was controlling. I still have some trouble with my knee, and I had to check. I think not after this race, but when I go back to Belgium, I need to have another check because it doesn't really feel right. But I mean, and it was enough for win, and I had to dig very deep, but I'm happy to get this win.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Tony. Third overall today, we have Glenn Koldenoff. Glenn, I mean, you've been strong all day. Fastest in time practice, a really hard charging race in that first moto. Perhaps using up quite a bit of energy, I'm guessing. But a solid second race for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's always good to be back up here on the podium. And first moto had a really good start actually, and that's been a while. And I messed it up completely in the first lap, and I went back to 9th, and you know, got me a bit angry. But in the end, you know, I pushed really, really hard in that first moto and came back to second, very close to the win. And I think that second moto was very tough, especially after that first one. But gotta give it up to Standing Construct Gas Factory Racing. They've done an amazing job. We've been working hard. Also my practice mechanic back home and all the people around me, you know, who supported me. And I'm not very satisfied finishing third because I really want that win again. But we keep working.
Thanks, Tim. Or Glenn.
Glenn Koldenoff, third overall, his third podium of the season, to go with the win in Latvia and the second here on Sunday. But not satisfied with third. He put in a hard charge in race 1, so he knows he's got the speed to not only win races, but also be on the top step as well. But hopefully we'll see a little bit more from him in Spain in a week's time. But for now, the Standing Construct Gas rider, third overall. Second overall, Antonio Cairoli is 5th place. He said in race 1 he was just too soft, if you like, too easy. Second one, though, he was right where he needed to be when Gajser slipped off, picked up the win, and it was good enough for second overall. He's still very much in the fight for this championship, just 11 points down on Tim Gajser on a day where he picked up his 170th podium. Tim Gajser, though, 25 Grand Prix victories now for the Team HRC rider. He continues to lead MXGP. That was his 9th race win of the season and his first GP win as well this year. Well, that is pretty much it. What an epic triple header we had here in Mantova. We will leave you now, and we will be back next week, and we will resume with round 12 of the FIM Motocross World Championship when we go to Spain. We'll see you then.